heavy there. Now when that's on top of there, that nice sharp pink edge, yeah, that works really nice. Very happy with that. I still need to work on the galaxy a little in the head. That is very much not done. Lovely. How's things in here? I've been chatting up Kukia. Just been like literally just little bits of non-metallics in the vents up top and on the sides, and then the pink is actually ink that that's why I'm keeping the model at this angle, because I don't want the ink to go running. That's why I just picked up the head to do some work on the head for a bit, just to let that ink dry. It's the only downside to inks. That, and they tend to dry a little bit shiny, but you can fix that with matte varnish. These ridges are nice to do. Bit of mid-tone here, and then just a sharp edge highlight on each one. And would be golden. Well, it won't be golden, but you know what I mean. Not enough mixed up to. It's a little bit thin. That'll be nice next week to paint something non-Warhammer. This is a nice change. So, I don't know if it will stay at this angle. Yeah, it will. Look at that. I really need to figure out what I'm doing with the sword as well. Sword looks like trash in comparison. I think I'm going to sketch out the sword in like a silver non-metallic and then just glaze a colour over it and get that transition. I did also, I finally got round to priming the legs. He has primed the legs. Like the amount of times I've put the model together and had it standing and taken photos and the legs are just grey. I could start doing the guns, the shoulder guns. I need a bit of violet for that. I'm not great at social stuff at times, so I'll be wearing literal mask. My alter ego can deal with the socialising. I like that. Yeah, I'm like really socially awkward, but I'm pretty sure if you spoke to any of the guys from ChillCon, they'd tell you no, he's full of shit. He's fine. And that was primarily me Mark UK. He was the first one that I met. Absolutely lovely bloke. Can't wait for him to start streaming. And then Johnny Jeans Minis, Stinger, Jace, Small Parts, Waylanders, Borak. Like some really, really good people. I can use a bigger brush for this. For me, it's the feeling of completely drained social battery. Yeah, I didn't really get that from ChillCon, but I know what you mean. Like that's me normally. I'll be at a normal sort of everyday event, even just work. You know, you're socialising at work, and it's like, okay, can I just go home now? I'm quite fortunate in my work that I can hide away in the old building. We have 2 buildings on site, and the old building is material storage and stock, which is what I work in. So if I ever sort of get too much or get overloaded from being in production, then I'll just disappear and do something over in materials and storage, which is quite nice. It's nice to have that freedom. Not that it ever gets me any peace, because people know where I am. The feckers. Probably just looks like I'm painting black on black at the minute. I'm painting a very dark violet onto black. I'll build up a nice purple. I think you can just about see a whisper of purple on that. I was going to do the guns different, but I figured that just looks shit, so we'll do them identical. It's really nice. Probably my favourite part of the ChillCon experience is just like breaking down people's thought processes for how they work on models, and having the same done to me as well. Like, you know, people are interested in how I approach this and do this, and it's quite nice because locally I don't really know any hobbyists. So, well, I know one guy who games, so he plays, but he doesn't paint. I know someone else who does D&D, but again, he doesn't paint, so it's kind of hard to talk theory and whatnot with people who don't do the thing. Look at that bit. For years in real life, my social battery drains so fast. But with hobby folks and streaming, I find it actually energizing. So part of me starting to stream. So I took up mini painting when my father passed as a coping mechanism. So like feeling destructive, the best counter to that is to be creative, and this is creative. And I've got 2 brothers that play Warhammer. Hence why I was like, I'll try painting. And someone was like, oh, you're pretty good for a first model. That's pretty solid. So I kind of kept it up, and then 2 folks on here were like, you should stream. Tis was the one. Thank you for the raid. Welcome in. But then, because I'm autistic and I tend to hide away from the world, I found that streaming was a really good way to open myself up, because there's a camera between me and the people. So yes, you can see me, I can't see you. Doesn't quite work like that. But I can kind of filter it out that there's an audience, if that makes sense. So again, if I feel too overwhelmed, I can just kind of say, well, you know, they're not in the room with you. They're not surrounding you. How are you doing, Tiswas? What were you working on? I'm still pushing on the Wraith night. It's going to be a little while on this project, I think. Anyone who's bored with it, I'm sorry. You're going to see a bit more of it yet. Let's go for a greyish. That's quite a nice purple. Loku, thanks for the shout out. I have got it set up as well so raiders get an automatic shout out. Because I feel like someone's raiding in and there's no mods around and I'm in the middle of something. It's best to just have it automated. Can't remember how I set that up. I was working on that. Ah, yes, I did see the notification, because you went live around about the time I was finishing my dinner and about to go live. And yeah, as Loki says, it's a beautiful model. Build up the purple a bit. Painted glue, but finished, and next week painting a lot of Necrons. So they're one race that I still have not painted. I've not painted any Necrons. No particular reason, just haven't got around to it. I imagine I would have both fun and a nightmare with them, because me being me, I would have to try and do one in non-metallics. As absurd as that sounds. You should see a little bit more purple now, whereas before it looked kind of just black. Yeah, look at that. I think we're going to go with glows on them. I might go with the dark green on the casing to the barrels. We'll see how that looks. Green and purple is a winning combination. I'm an hour ahead, so that makes sense. Yeah. Then kind of same seas there, White Wolf. After my dad passed, I got into a streamers community that spent 90% of my free time in voice chats with. Then pressed the button myself just for the sake of it, kind of to give people a place where they can find me anytime. Excuse me. Where they can find me anytime they'd want, instead of, yeah. Yeah, I'm a big advocate of the mediocre hobbies paint group. So obviously Andy from Mediocre is a YouTuber, and he streams here on Twitch on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and he makes the hobby so accessible. But that, like, a big reason I champion that group is because that's the first sort of community that I found a voice in. Helps I kind of stumbled into their community and won a painting competition on their Discord. But no, they like super nice folks. Like I say, Andy's approach is get models on the table, and that's not to take anything away. Like, he will tell you that is what he's all about. He does it fantastically. I do have a special command just for Mediocre. I have a second special command as well for anyone who might not know them. Mimic Hobbies is another one where I picked up a lot from Parker about airbrush, because he airbrushes big statues, like really big statues. He does fantastic work, and he's super approachable. You can ask him any question and he will answer as best he can. Very, very talented. Also his other half does a lot of like cosplay stuff, like making jewelry and stuff for cosplayers. Fantastic. Like, pair of them, absolutely superb. It's just on the edge. Again, I'm all about just sharing the knowledge and kind of guiding people to these other fantastic hobbyists and artists. If you want a wild time in chat, I highly recommend you follow Loku. He's got a heart of gold as well. Totally spoiling your bad boy image there, Loku. Sorry, bud. I'm just a little guy, you're awesome is what you are. Don't let anybody tell you different. I will say, like, the painting community doesn't really have that. Like, there are big guys and little guys, but I'm yet to meet a big guy who's like, oh, I'm a big guy, I'm so much better than all of you. It's not really any of that goes on. Not that I see anyway. I saw one guy saying how amazing he was at painting. And I gotta be honest, I wasn't that convinced by what I saw, but that's one instance. Messed up my edge highlight there. Whoops. Wax. I don't want the overall gun to be too bright, or the casing to be too bright, because all the brightness is going to be in those barrels again. And if you didn't know, the best way to make something look even brighter is to have it against something quite dark. Again, very, very basic tip for you. Oops. So that will probably pretty much be it for the casing. And then just the barrels here. We'll put white ink down, and then we'll put fluoro magenta on, and then once that's dry, excuse me, excuse me again, I will put like a darker magenta line between each barrel using the single pigment magenta. Bless you twice, thanks Sophie. By the way, I ordered a bunch of paints. Oh, what paints did you order?
Bless you.
Danke. It is moving into hay fever season, and I do suffer from hay fever. I've been trying to make do without antihistamines, but sadly, I think I'll have to. Every year I spend half a year taking antihistamines. It's not something I enjoy. Like, they're not bad, it's just inconvenience. I have to stop and take fucking tablets. All because of tree spunk. It is mostly tree pollen that gets me. Like grass and stuff is fine. I'm painting this right off camera. You all are being too polite and not pointing it out. Oh, I need to do these raised bits. So the only reason these little ovals are done lighter, they're not gems, but they are raised.